Good evening, Juventini. We're here back again. Yes, we took a day off. No, we're not fully recovered. It's back. Game day once again. Pre-match in here. Dash, how you doing?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another pregame, league game, any game show. We're here to talk some news. We're going to do some Lecce talk. So we got some stuff for you. We got some articles. We got some scandals. We got some deviousness. We also have some projected lineups and formations and Illing Jr. in your future, guys. Let's get this going.
Yeah, Illing Jr. is really, man, I could just spend the whole time talking about him, I think.
Oh, absolutely. You know the song that Rihanna has? It's called Shine Bright Like an Illing.
Oh, boy. I don't know. Crowd, listeners, let us know. Was that on point?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
2K coming in saying hello. What is going on, guys? KB, I'm assuming you're here because he responded on Discord. He gave me the classic KB let's go. So let's go, guys. Let's do this.
We have a 9K in the Discord. Is it 2K? But instead of 2K, he has 9K on there? Because I always get confused, man. Because I'm looking at our group chat and then it says 9K champion, and I'm like, don't we have a 2K on the actual YouTube stream?
Yeah, I think we get trolled from all angles, but that's all right. And Marianne Managazzo is coming in, the name that I love to say. So how you guys doing?
Yep,
Yeah,
2K
2K. So you
2K has
are?
confirmed it.
All right. He must be a millennial with all those Ks going on.
He's got 2 bands on the YouTube, 9 bands on the Discord.
So, all right. I mean, the more you know people. Yeah, because he did say he did watch the show one time in the Discord. I'm like, it's the names. The names. You can choose whatever name you want on whatever platform. It gets confusing. Just like how I'm Dog Daddy Davide, I suppose, on Twitter. But I'm also
Allegedly.
at
Allegedly.
Turn Giants YT. So yeah, why make things simple? So yeah, Illing, let's talk Illing. We did release the short. If you haven't seen the short today, Nileesh is back from Diwali. He went silent for a while, if you guys have noticed. So I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey man, you good? He's still alive?" And he was like, "Oh yeah. I was just been celebrating Diwali." I'm like, "Oh okay, well, I mean that makes sense." And then he came at us with the short of Illing's two. That's not two assists. They're not. The second one wasn't a pure assist per se, but let's for ease of conversation, let's say his two assists there. So check it out. It was nice. You saw me get excited during the game. If you did watch the live. Speaking of which, I guess I mean tomorrow's the live. It's happening. Lecce. I feels okay. Let's talk about our feelings because I don't feel like I've recovered. I've had a long week. I don't know if it's because of Juve. I don't know if it's because it's life. Probably a combination of both. But are you ready? Like, does it feel like it's game day again already?
Well, I mean, it depends on how many you're gonna charge me per hour if we're gonna sit here and talk about feelings here. So, I mean, I need a leather couch, a nice throw pillow where I can lay down, put my back up, kick my feet up, and then where I can did I just say put my back up and feet up? That's weird. Lay down and kick my feet up. The Friday funnies, everybody. Uh, I don't know because the thing is like it was like it's like anticipated disaster per se. So it's like we kinda had a feeling that stuff might hit the fan, and it hit the fan. So it's like
Yeah.
it's kinda like what Sam and I were, like, saying, all of us actually were saying, we're just kinda like, we're there, but we're not there, but we're there at the same time, where we're just kinda like, "F it, bleep it." The thing
Mm.
is, like, I'm excited because I kinda wanna see what happens now because we're missing a lot of players. Cuadrado might finally get benched, allegedly. The thing is we get to see the good old Illing, so, it's a new beginnings, right? New year, new me? New
Yeah.
weekend? New weekend, new me?
I guess I thought you were making a reference to the weekend for a second there.
Oh,
The guy
no.
with no vowels in his name.
Oh,
No
I
e's.
mean, we could, cause Illing is a star boy.
Um. Yeah, but I like Illing and I don't like the weekend. So
Oh,
I don't
Well,
like, you know how I'm a stickler for like spelling and languages, right? And just to not put the vowels in, it's infuriating. I can't get past it. But yeah, let's segue into Illing. Obviously, I mean, we had to take a step back to get back to him, but he was super exciting. I lost my mind when he like how many minutes did we calculate how many minutes he has yet? I want to say like
um,
26. I'm guessing 26. It's nothing.
yes. Yes, 26 to 28 minutes.
I just made that up. So,
I
I
and
mean,
I went with it.
okay, cool.
I'm going with it.
Just making things up tonight, guys. Um, so yeah, he's allegedly replacing Quadrado for at least tomorrow's game. I think everyone, I don't know, tell me if there's somebody out there that does not want to see this happen tomorrow, like Illing in for Quad. Because I think after what we saw a few days ago, that's really what we want to see. And I mean, Twitter, or whatever Twitter nonsense you want to believe out there. I mean, like
The
a lot of people
twatter.
on Twitter are calling it for that as well. And
Uh,
so Elon Musk officially owns it now. It went
Yep,
through.
it is Musker now, not Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm
So
just kidding.
Elon
He
Musk owns
hey,
Twitter for
he
41
walked
billion.
in. He walked in with a sink. The dude walked in
Sink.
holding yes, he walked in holding a sink, man.
Oh
He's
man.
like, "Hey, can't handle my grapefruits in my jeans, so I'm gonna just put them in the sink and walk in." Wow, I still can't believe he did that.
I mean, I barely got the Juve news into me. Never mind the Elon Musk news, but I think I need to catch up a bit. That's man, what an interesting dude. And I have read his biography. It's fairly old now, but man, just that guy. He's out there for sure.
I gotta
Uh
I'll get that image up for you guys. It's absolutely hysterical. But
yeah, I
yeah,
mean just for some shits and
s
giggles for sure.
some banter. I mean, I don't know how good it is compared to Rabiot's mom picture, but hey,
Did you bring it back?
I can.
Well, it was requested. I mean,
It was requested.
you
That's
might
true.
as well. So to continue on Illing, well, Dash figures that out there. They want to convert him allegedly to a left back. And they reference specifically like how they did it to Alfonso Davies. Now, that's obviously a very good example to try to pick off of because I mean he still plays both positions. For the national team, Alfonso Davies does play on the wing. But obviously for Bayern, he plays as a left back. So I don't know. This to me just seems like, oh, we really need left backs. Illing's going to be a left back now, just like magically, as if they have the same like special serum that they used on Alfonso that worked. I don't think it's that easy. What do you think?
I don't know because the thing is like it depends on your conditioning because the thing is like going in from a left wing to a left back is it's an easy but difficult conversion. So the thing is if you're playing as a left wing, you can do the offensive side of an offensive wing back. However, I haven't seen Illing defensively, so I'm a little bit curious to that. The dude clearly has the pace and the conditioning,
Yeah,
but it'll be interesting to see how he holds up defensively. If it's a 3-5-2, I'm a little bit more confident versus like
sure,
a 4-4-2 because then he's only got a certain X amount of area of the field. And then, like, for example, if he's caught out of position, because Kostic is going to be pushing up as well. Um, if he was caught out of position on the right and Kostic is caught out on the left, it opens up some issues. But in a 3-5-2, I think it's a little bit more doable just because of the way that everything is set up.
yeah. It's a bit more of a hybrid. It's the in between. It's not the
Yes.
full. You're not going like full left back. You're going like half left back. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, there's very little to go off of, obviously. The one thing I did like though is how he drove the balls in low and hard. That's what she said. As opposed to how Kostic does it, which is kind of low and slow over the top and drops them in, kind of like parachuting the ball in. Obviously, you want both. It's you have options. It's good. You have options now, essentially, depending on how you need to attack the play, that who you're playing, right? The defensive setup. So, do you need to go over the top? Could you beat them on the wings and drive her in? I like the options at the very least.
So is he a full-on left foot, or is he like a switch foot?
I don't know if he's a switch foot. Let's see if there's anything on the kid.
Because that's the one thing I'm curious about, because I know what we saw, like, we saw him use his left foot, but I don't know, or yeah, because I don't remember seeing him use his right foot.
Again, like so little time in.
Yeah. Uh,
So, man, stupid cookies. Everything wants my cookies.
Come on, Wikipedia, don't let me down now. Oh, come
So
on, come on,
attack
come on.
left wing. No, it's just he's worth 770,000 right now.
He's
Yeah,
almost
I'm not finding anything. If anyone listening does know or can find that, fill us in. But yeah, I guess if you're a right back as well, that gives you a lot more
Oh.
options, maybe a little more versatile as a left back.
So I found something juicy. So,
Mm.
here the thing is, so our good old friend Illing here is apparently, allegedly, Wikipedia guys, don't quote me on this. He is mainly a winger who can play on either side, left or right, and has goal scoring and pace. So, hypothetically speaking, I think it's going to be a little bit of a drive and cut in on the right side of the field, which I'm totally okay with because we don't have that whatsoever.
Not without Chiesa,
Not without
obviously.
Chiesa.
Yeah.
And if he is a left footy, and if he can play a switch footy, yikes, we
Yeah,
might actually have
that would be
something decent
cool.
here.
Yeah, and he is 19, so exciting, very exciting. Okay, so it does show main position. So left winger, other positions, right winger, and left midfield. So left midfield is still slightly different than a wing back, but I guess if we play a 4-4-2, he could fit into that instead of throwing Rabio there. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
As exciting as a 4-4-2 gets.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't know.
if they're running a 4-2-2, I'm pretty sure Illing is in it. And it's one of the things where I gotta throw this at Allegri a little bit, but come on, man. Like, if you had this dude and you've been sitting on this dude for a while and you know what he could do and you were putting McKennie and Rabiot on the left mid position, like, come on, man. Come on. Like, it's just, where's my thing? But I'm trying to get myself, but
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn.
that's all I can say about that one is if he actually knew that ahead of time. The thing is I think he's a good fit for right now. Season's not really going anywhere. I mean, we're just trying to make sure we get into some rhythm. We've got a crap ton of injuries. Younger players don't get injured as frequently as our old farts per se. Let the kid play, man. Let the kid run.
Yeah. And again, just I think that's what people generally like the Juventini out there are saying. Yeah, just let them play. It's difficult because the season is still salvageable.
It
You can't
is.
just completely throw it away with youngsters. But yes, when you do see Illing come in and create 2 goals in a Champions League game, which we were completely down on it. He essentially made that game a game for the last 20 minutes or however long it was. Gave us that glimmer of hope. And for a kid that had one showing all season, which was at that point like 3 or 4 days prior, I mean, come on. And it could just be that whole like beginner's luck nonsense.
It
It
could
was
be.
exciting.
It could be, but at the same time too, man, like you go into a Champions League game with a shitty situation and you ball out versus like for example Gatti where Gatti absolutely crapped his pants. I mean,
Yeah,
there's some guys that got it, and I think Illing's got some sauce
there's some sauce there for sure.
for sure. It's not like orange juice; it's full on barbecue sauce. If you guys get the reference,
Sweet baby Ray's, perhaps.
absolutely.
Okay. My dog's got her legs wrapped up in my headphone cord. Give me a second.
You know, it'd be funny, just like midstream, she just absolutely like yanks, and then all of a sudden, guys, midstream, you just see his headphones just. It's like, what happened? And you're like, oh, hey, all right, sorry guys, I'm back. But Anybody got any comments, any questions about Illing while we're talking on this topic before we move on? I know there's some folks that y'all that are watching and stuff, but I know 2K says, be right back.
But is he back?
He is.
Well, no, he sent them at the same time, so we'll
Oh,
assume that he is.
So he says he wants to see Illing versus the Milk team, or that's going to be my meme for the weekend. We're calling Lecce Milk.
Milky.
Milk.
And we are going to see the Milkman as well because Vlahovic is still recovering from an injury.
Yeah.
Even though they said it wasn't really an injury. So I don't know how precautionary it is versus actual injury. I don't know.
It's going to be one of those things where, ironically, Vlahovic needs some milk.
Yeah, and used to get some strong bones. Yeah, I believed all that crap when I was a kid, Drank milk and grow strong and big and all that, and I just like started pounding milk. I'm lactose intolerant now, so
that's ironic.
Yeah, it worked out real good.
Rawad says Illing won't be playing, it seems.
Is there like later news now?
No, I don't think there's later news, but like for example, there's the projected lineup. I got the Fat Mabi lineup, and it says Quad Daddy is in the lineup versus Illing. I don't know. The thing is we expected Rugani to start against Benfica, and they flipped the script and threw Gatti out there. So
yeah,
though it seems negative or not look likely, anything can change at this point.
Yeah, because I'm looking at a Sky Sports one as well, and it has Quad, but man, I don't know.
Yeah, and then Rawad. So the other thing too is there are reports that said, I think it was Romeo Agressi that said that Juve did train in a 4-3-3 this morning.
Yeah, because it says there's also the hypothesis for 4-3-3 with Kostic, Quadrado, and Milik. Again, I'd rather just see Illing in there, at least to start. And if he doesn't do it, then sure, put Quad in.
So yeah, we're not gonna, there's gonna be one of those things where we're not gonna sit here and be like, hey, this is gonna happen, because let's be honest, man, every single projection lineup that we've done or even tried to entertain has been absolutely wrong.
Always, but we do it anyway.
So I lost my train of thought. Darn, I hate getting old.
It was just so much more Illing.
I know. You could say that I'm just illing right now.
We're illing out. Well, illing out on the junior. There's a joke in there somewhere. We'll figure it out. We'll work it out. So Rawad is now saying only Moretti expect to start from the youngs. So I think what we're taking away from this is that nobody really knows because everyone has different information. And God knows I'm not high on Moretti at all. I didn't know you weren't. Okay. I thought we were all on board for Moretti. I think
so. Gazzetta says it's a 3-5-2 with Danilo, Bonucci, Rugani, Quadrado, McKennie, Locatelli, Rabiot, Kostic, Keane, and Milik. And then I believe it was. So Sky Sport says Szczesny, Rugani, Bonucci, Danilo, Quadrado, McKennie, Moretti, Rabiot, Kostic, Milik, and Keane.
And see, just to throw more shit at the fan here, I also heard Pardine is going to start tomorrow. So, should we waste our time even at all at this?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on.
Nope. Just gotta, we just gotta walk in with a sink, man. Just come in like this.
That's it. That
is how Allegri comes in.
That's not even a nice sink. That's just like some crap from some like a powder room, I guess you would call it.
But it's so funny, man. and there's like a bunch of people just like looking at him absolutely like cross-armed and upset. Like there's another couple full images, but
think about it though. He just bought Twitter. He just did the most ridiculous thing.
He walked in and fired
What would Twitter
people.
do though? What would Twitter do? He basically just created his own Twitter newsfeed, like for the day, just like blew up Twitter for himself. Think about it.
Yeah, he did. And the funny thing is like he walked in and fired everybody. Well, not everybody, but
yeah. What was the percentage? It was a good chunk.
It was a good chunk, man. Dude walks in, he's like, "Okay, guys. By the way, I don't think that some of you should continue, and with this restructuring, a good chunk of you will be leaving. I will be assuming the duties of CEO effective immediately. So, current CEO, here's your severance package and goodbye. I tried to imitate his voice. I can't.
Yeah. It was awkward at least.
Yeah.
You had
Well,
that part right.
he does sound like that. I mean, a little bit. Just,
Little.
give me a one in the chat if he does. But back on target here. So
Okay, yeah.
answering
So,
some
we did it. We double
double click.
click. Can't control the
He's
ball or dribble to save his life. Referencing
I
Moretti.
respectfully disagree. Dribble to save his life. That's a far stretch. That's a almost a McKenny. I think Moretti can dribble. I mean, he's proved it. He's been able to beat some players in one-on-one positions. So yeah, you can say that he can't dribble because here's one of the things, and I'm sure you probably have noticed this. This is why you're calling it out. Moretti's tiny compared to everybody else. I mean, he's 19, he's a kid. So you put him up against 25, 26, 27-year-old men, he's
Gets
going to get
bullied.
tossed around like a rag doll. And I don't mean it in a weird, kinky way. It's just unfortunately the thing. It's just how it is. So Marian says, do you think Massimiliano Allegri will play the cat? To be
The
honest with
cat
you,
emoji. Love it.
I think he's benched for a while.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't want
I
to
don't know. I
say
feel bad. I feel bad
I
for him in a
do.
sense.
I do, because he Maradona'd the hell out of some guy against
Oh my
Benfica.
god, and
Like,
that's
that
the
was
thing.
filthy. That guy
And
can
he
dribble.
had a chance at goal too. Offensively, he was actually not that bad for a
Hey,
center back.
he was 2 to 3 inches away from making it 4-4 at the end. That's all I'll say on that. I'm not like, "Oh my god, we should overlook Gatti and blah, blah, blah," and, it was just that. No, he had a disastrous game, defensively. Did not play well at all. I'm not even gonna talk about the slow, because Rawad just came in commenting about him being slow. It's more so the head, just kinda figuring out his positioning, understanding how his teammates are, etcetera. Um that's gonna be the one thing that I have on Gatti where I think he needs to play garbage time against the Lecce or against some other lower, I don't wanna say crap Serie A teams, but Serie A teams where you know that you're not gonna get threatened. So, like, for example, Empoli, ironically, he did concede a goal against Monza, so I can't really say Monza, but, like,
Yeah.
the thing is like an Empoli game or a game where we're able to score more than 2 or 3 goals is where you wanna put in Gatti. Because the thing is like right now he's hit or miss when it comes to conceding. So the thing is you don't play him against a Milan, you don't play him against an Inter, you don't play him against a Roma, where that game is tight, and that's what
Oh
she
yeah.
said. But the thing is you gotta play him against teams that are 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. You got to sprinkle them in eventually. Same thing for Illing, same thing for Fagioli. Because the thing is everybody that wanted Fagioli and all of that stuff, Fagioli and Gatti are literally almost the same exact issues that they're having. They're both slow and unable to read the higher level of the game right now. It's not saying that their career is a wash. Their wash isn't trash. I'm not going on that argument because it doesn't make sense. Not enough reference material. But we have been proven, and Gatti proved it. There is a gap between Serie B and Serie A that it
Mhm.
will take 6, 7, 8 months for them to fill. It's just unfortunately how it is. Do I say we bury them? No, but we're going to have to sprinkle them in little by little. Same thing with Illing as well. Even though Illing had a great 26, 27 minutes, because again, 26, 27 minutes is different from a full 90 by far. The mental drain, the conditioning, all of it. It'd be nice to see. I mean, he has been playing very, very well. Been playing very, very well in the under 23s or the next gen, but still, the youngsters do need to get sprinkled in. They need slowly get drizzled in. I do think, though, in regards to Illing and Quadrado, I think Quadrado should be benched just to kind of, hey, you're not playing well. You need to sit for a minute. And then you put in Illing for 45 minutes, maybe 50, and then you switch him out with Quadrado. But the thing is I think Allegri needs to make this clear where I don't care. I will bench you for the first half. And the thing is as a player, like, as a senior player, if you're getting benched for the rookie or the
Mhm.
youngster, that's gonna piss you off.
Yep. The interesting thing with Quadrado, he's done after this. We all know that. He knows that. So I mean, his mentality can really go on either way. He could just have that pride in him, and if the junior, I mean, he is the junior. If he takes that spot, he might say, "Yes, I need to get my spot back. I know my time here is short. I need to make the best of it." Or he can just get so down on himself, say, "I just got to ride this out a few months, and I'll go back to Colombia or wherever he may go." And he might just completely shut down, and then Illing becomes our number one. And if you have to cycle quad in, then he's definitely going to be bad. So like it can kind of teeter in either direction.
Yeah. So I also wanted to go on this one. So he says Illing's ceiling is as high as Gareth Bale. So my thing is, and that's a good point that you're bringing this up. Right now, I'm not concerned about ceilings. I'm more concerned about floors. So when we're looking at any player, essentially, any young player from 15 to 20, 21, 22 has that ceiling. Anybody's ceiling can be high. The thing is I want to know what their floor is, because if anyone hits their ceiling on a good day or has a good day, good bowl of cereal, Chipotle, Big Mac before the game, etc., and you hit that ceiling, that's great. But I also want to know, what is your minimum level? So he says floor Pellegrini. Oof. Oof. But like the thing is like, so for example, if his floor is like, so his ceiling is Gareth Bale and his floor is like Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'm not mad with that. Or like, I'm trying to think who's a mediocre left back or right back. But like the thing is so let me do this in a number scale so it's easier to explain instead of players. So if your ceiling is an 11 and your floor is about a 6 or a 7, you're golden. Because the thing is if it's a 6, your floor is a 6 or 7, that means you're gonna hit that, even if you're not at like your top potential. If you're, whatever, if you're tired or your girlfriend dumped you or whatever, you'll still be able to put in a 6 or a 7 level performance. Whereas like you have the potential to hit a 10 or 11. My thing is I'm a little bit concerned with is yeah, he might have a 10 ceiling, but what happens if his floor is a 1? So, like, for example, Quadrado is a perfect example of this. Quadrado can do some really saucy moves on the side, take a shot that doesn't look like it's going in and it goes in. But the problem is when Quadrado's off it, he's off it. Like, he is done. So the
Yeah.
thing is like when we're looking at adjustments and projections and all those ratings, is the main thing we need to look at isn't the ceiling, it's the floor. Because the floor is what determines, the floor is essentially your average, is your lowest point. And then you can determine the average with the ceiling and in between. But whenever we're looking at younger players, because like you have a low floor, like perfect example of a very low floor is Paulo Dybala.
Oh yeah.
So KB, and coincidentally KB just mentioned him. So
Eee.
the thing is like, for example, Dybala, amazing player. His ceiling is Messi. His floor is the Dybala that lost his mojo when his girlfriend left him in 2018, where the dude couldn't even play properly at all. Couldn't kick a ball in 2017, the second
Yeah.
or the first half of that season. That is absolutely terrifying.
He's emotionally fragile, Dybala, which obviously attributes to his floor. But I mean, hopefully we don't have. This is exactly what we don't need, right? This is what we're trying to do with this rebuild, is get that grinta. So I'm hoping, again, very, very small sample size with Illing. But I mean, the way he came out there and just went for it, I'm hoping he's one of these kids with grinta.
Yeah, and I'm also curious to see how Marley Ake factors in as well, because he should be coming back soon.
Yeah, I was never super impressed with him. I don't know. I
And the
don't.
thing is like for me, when it comes to Ake, I'm not looking for him to be a world beater. I'm looking for him to just be decent.
Just
Because
like
if you have a
be a depth
decent,
guy.
yeah, because the thing is like if he's a decent depth player or a decent piece, we can either use him as a substitute or end up selling him off later down the road for a pretty penny. Because right now the left back and the right back is a commodity on the market, and people will go crazy about buying
Yeah.
it. So that's the one thing I have about Ake is whether or not he's able to give an average of a 6 or a 7. If his floor is a 4 or 5 and his ceiling's a 7, 8, and he's in between there, that's just a consistent average player, which
So
I'm
like
not.
Danilo, and we talked
Yeah.
about this on the podcast, right? He sometimes might pull off an 8. He's usually doing like a 7. He probably doesn't go lower than a 6. So you're
Yep.
getting 6 to 8
Yep.
all
That's
the
it.
time.
because you need one of those guys, especially depth level, where it's like you know that he's a surefire. So like Barzagli, like whenever Allegri would play Barzagli off the bench, you know what you were getting. Like you were getting Barzagli, out of the three, we're not going to talk about Bonucci now. I'm talking about
He
Bonucci
was
back then.
definitely the prettiest.
Yeah. So like for example, Chiellini was, your lead guy. Then it was Bonucci, then it was Barzagli. So the thing is like Allegri would interchange Barzagli in the lineup sometimes if he was running a four-man defense, or he would sub out someone else and switch it to a back three or switch Bonucci or Chiellini if they were tired. And you would know Barzagli, his floor was a 6. His ceiling's a 10. And he's in between there every single time, which is really, really good for a defender. So that's one of those things where you look at those depth guys, like for example, Ake, I'm not expecting him to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. I'm not expecting him to be this dominant right wing back, right back, whatever he is, to just be blazing up and down the pitch and be an absolute beast. No, I'm looking for him to be what DeShilio should have been.
I mean, if you get essentially a free DeShilio that you just have to pay like $1 million a year, then that's not bad for depth.
Yes, but the thing is like I think DeShilio sometimes underperforms per se, but like for example, if a
Yeah,
cake
I'm not trying to argue for.
no, I
Let's not
got
do
you.
that.
Yeah, no, I got you. But like if a K can be that average, that Danilo, but that right back Danilo, a younger Danilo, I'm okay with it because the thing is like Atalanta do a really good job of having guys like this. The thing is like having guys that are mediocre, not world beaters, but mediocre depth guys. Atalanta's made a huge profit model off of selling these guys. Like they have been selling them to the Premier League. They've been selling them all over the place.
It's a
So
bit different though, because Atalanta isn't trying to necessarily win. They were
no, I get,
try to be relevant, and they just did such a good job of it that it became very relevant.
no, I get it.
Juve wouldn't get away with that because it would
No,
take too long.
yeah, I know, and I'm not saying like we should do a fire sale, but I'm saying like if we're able to have like an average, ironic, we might want to do a fire sale, but
Yeah,
it's just having something like that because like back then we had those guys like Simone Pepe or Padolin or even Sturaro. Like it was stuff like that where you had those pieces that would fit in essentially and just cover the level that you would need them to cover. Right now we don't have that because the thing is like you have Kostic on the left, and then Kostic is like your 7 or 8, and then who do you replace him with? A 1 because you don't have anyone besides Zilling right now. But I'm saying prior
yeah.
to.
And I mean that's just a recurring theme now is squad composition. It's not fleshed out, and I've been saying this for probably I guess a year and a half now. With all these contracts expiring, I never really expected this team to be put together until those players left. Then you have to get the replacements. Then you have to build that team from there, which another season after that, perhaps. So yeah, I mean we
Yeah.
got to start somewhere and actually build a foundation. So Struaro was sold for 20. I mean that
Yeah.
not bad. That was how long ago now too?
4 years ago?
It's only 4 years ago. Feels
Yeah, I
like
think so. Because I think it was either Allegri's last season that he got sold. I think so. 2018, 2019.
true. Man, what a so
Yeah.
hard to spell his name. How do
Yeah,
you
it's just
spell
the thing is
True.
like, and this was one of the things that I think we mentioned. I think Juve executed the rebuild poorly. They
Oh,
tried
they did, yeah.
they tried hanging on longer to certain players instead of actually getting in a transition piece. Because like the thing is like Real Madrid actually did it really, really good. Like their rebuild was good because like uh you lose Casemiro, but you've already had Valverde develop, and now
Yeah.
Valverde is essentially fit that role. Same thing with Bale and Rodrigo and Vinicius with Ronaldo and all them. I mean, the only thing right now is they don't have a sizable backup for Benzema yet. That's still a work in progress, but I think that guy's still churning along. But
Yeah.
even like with Cruz and Modric, they replaced those guys. They're gonna get replaced by Chouameni and Camavinga. It's only a matter of
It's
time.
still insane that they have both of those kids as
Yeah.
backups right now,
Yep.
essentially.
And then on
Insane.
the left, like for example, Mendy started filing in for Marcelo, replaced him. Ramos and Alaba and You would also say now Rudiger and Eder Militao. So you have 3 of those really good center backs that will interchange for each other. I don't know too much about their right back because I still think it's Carvajal. So I still think that that's there, but Real Madrid executed it properly. They started bringing in small pieces little by little, and they started slowly integrating them into the side. So there's a couple of things where I think Juve wanted to still try to remain competitive, but they just absolutely misexecuted it.
Yeah. But all that talk about Madrid. Odriozola, potential left back replacement. Again, because we were just hearing this, not many sources. You know my rules. I haven't heard it multiple times. I just think it's kind of an interesting name that we haven't heard of before. He's 27. So was it 27 or 29? Should have wrote that down. But late 20s. Let's say late 20s. Somebody correct me. I know you will. But yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I say yes for the sake that, yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade. It has to be because we have hit this stuff. Talking about floors again, we've hit the floor on the left back position, right? So
we've gone through it. We didn't hit it, we flew through it.
And Arnold Rarad here saying Moji. We actually talked about Moji on the last
yeah,
episode.
He's got a lifetime ban.
So
I don't think Moji's
I mean,
allowed.
Maybe that's a video we can do one day. Something
We
on
should.
him.
The life of Moji.
Yeah.
And
that
then
could be fun.
KB wants Guntoli from Napoli. You know, it's interesting because we were talking about that too. We were talking about Napoli sporting director and we were talking about Lazio sporting director. My thing is how much freedom is Agnelli going to give them?
Yeah,
and
part of the
Cherubini,
equation.
because they're gonna because essentially what I'm thinking is gonna happen is Cherubini is gonna get sent back to the youngsters, and then Guntoli or Tari will then go in as like a sporting director that reports to Cherubini, or not Cherubini, Arriva Bene. And then my thing is like with the Juve hierarchy, how much of it right now is Agnelli making the shots or calling the shots, or is he just completely hands off and started focusing on the Super League? And that's kind of why we've gone through a dumpster fire. There's a lot of things, but it's just one of those things where I don't know. And then Rawad just said, assuming that he stays on as president.
And that is a bit of an F these days.
It is, but the only person that can remove him is Elkin.
Yeah.
Unless he steps down, but I don't think he would.
Oh, probably not. But Elkin could. Perhaps. It's a business. He's got to do what's right for business. So we'll see. I don't think we're going to see anything drastic until the summer, though.
No.
I think you just got to be in for the ride. And I know it's tough. It's just tough, guys.
Yeah, the only way we see anything drastic is if we lost 6 games back to back to back until like the new year. That's
something a drastic form would have,
Yep.
It would be
that's when we would just see an absolute dumpster fire. Like a legit dumpster fire.
The young Elkin, what's his name? Lapo? Is that the one he's referencing?
Yeah.
Lapo Elkin?
I don't think the Agnellis would like that.
I don't think the family really likes him, do they?
No.
He's kind of like a black sheep of the family, isn't he?
I think so.
I don't know a whole lot about like that level, and it's more like that's getting to like celebrity level gossip, TMZ stuff. I'm not super into that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
Going into the celebrity dirt with the Turin Giants. No, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah. Speaking of dirt, the dirt that is Paredes and the dirt that they're trying to throw on Di Maria. Let's talk about the Argentines. I kind of I did throw dirt at Paredes because he hasn't been playing well. Yeah, I'm just, it is what it is. He hasn't been great. Yes, he did just come in hot and threw a bunch of hours onto the pitch without playing much at PSG. We can make excuses. Fact of the matter is, he just hasn't been that great. So he may not get his extension, or not the extension, but
the buyout.
The buyout to make the deal permanent. So I think that's smart. They have to at least be telling him at this point that if he doesn't sort his shit out, that He's out of a job. He's going back to Paris.
You going to the soup kitchen, my guy. You going back to that dirt hole of PSG.
PSG with the dollar sign, KB says. Wasn't he the one Allegri really wanted?
Yes.
What are we referencing now? Lapo again, or who are we saying?
No. Allegri really wanted Paredes because remember
Paredes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're talking about Paredes. Of course. Yeah. Yes, Paredes. Well, he is the profile that Allegri wants. He wants like a true defensive midfielder, Regista style player. I mean, we couldn't get Jorginho, or we didn't want to pay the price. The same with Verratti, even though Verratti is more, say, like a number 8.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say he's more of a box to box.
But I think he could play the role better than just because he's so good. I think he can kind of pull off the role. But again, just super expensive. It's just no, that doesn't even make sense. But what was left down the pecking order essentially was Paredes. There aren't that many true Registas anymore. Just like there aren't that many true number 10s anymore, because the game has evolved away from that. And that is part of what Allegri's problem is he's still trying to play that very old Italian style of, well, we can't even anymore, but that 4-3-3 style with that defensive midfielder. So 4-3-3 defensive, essentially. And that's why it's not working, because the tactics aren't working. And Paredes isn't a superstar. He's a good player. He's just...
He's a 6 and a 7. That's it. Not a wonder player.
So unless he steps it up, man, he's out of a job.
That was so casual. You're just like, and if you don't play, you're going back to the unemployment line.
So that's just how it is, man. So keep saying, I thought Paredes was brought in as Regista to move Locatelli to a box-to-box midfielder. Yes, in the 4-3-3, which we haven't been playing because of all the injuries and whatever other excuses he has made up. I mean, I'm not happy that we're not playing the 4-3-3. It clearly didn't work, and the 3-5-2 has been working. It's like this is 3-5-2. It's like slightly better than a 4-4-2, which is saying it's like my shit smells less than yours. I don't know. It's a personal preference, of course. Like 3-5-2 is obviously serviceable. I'm just not excited about it. Okay, yeah, Allegri. That's right. The round block. The wrong. Man, here we go. The Friday stutters. That's right. The round block goes in the square hole. Yeah, exactly. Trying to make it fit when it doesn't. And we see that with playing Danilo and Sandro as center backs is just one example. Putting the round block in the square hole. So since we are on Argentines, so yes, they were saying Di Maria's leaving, and Sam said that. I know the guys or a couple of the guys at BZ, I think, believe Di Maria's playing for the World Cup. He's done in January. It is insisted that he is here for the full season. It's been going on for a few days, actually a few weeks, really, these rumors. But he's come out and said, no, here for the season. I still think he's here for the season. When he is playing, he does look like he does care and he wants to actually contribute to the team. I don't know, Dash. Am I rose-tinted glasses here, or?
I don't know. The thing is like he's putting an effort when he's on the pitch, but that's when he's on the pitch. So I don't know. I don't think he wants to leave J Medical, but it's a catch-22 to be honest with you, and like that's one of the things where I wasn't too crazy about the Di Maria deal when it happened and when it was being projected because it was a 1-year deal. I was just like, The thing is, for me, I don't really give a rat's patootie about the World Cup. For me, it's like I was looking at it as far as a succession plan because we don't have a succession on the right wing. Because originally Chiesa was supposed to be on the left, and we didn't really have a 1A. Because the thing is, you need a 1A and a 1B for your wingers. Your 1A is your left winger. Your 1B is your right winger. Kind of looks like we have that now with Chiesa and Kostic, but we don't have any background. We don't have any back depth players. That's where I'm a little bit concerned.
Illing and Di Maria, right? That's who we got.
Illing and Di Maria for now, but that's why I was a little bit. I don't think we should go for this guy. personally, I did want Raspadori, and people will say that we would have ruined Raspadori and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going on the what if train. Don't really care. It's not a big deal. However, I just, my only concern with Di Maria, the guy's a great player, but my issue with him is, and you can watch the tape, is the succession plan. What happens after? Because Di Maria is one of those guys that if you're competing for a Champions League or a title, and he's that last piece that you need just to get you over the hump.
Well, that's
Not long
on
term.
paper, theoretically, at the beginning of the season. That's what it was looking like. We weren't going to have such a disastrous campaigns thus far, and he was going to be that piece to get us through the season and compete for a Scudetto and maybe go into the Champions League, at least much deeper than we did.
Yeah, but the thing too
So,
also is just there isn't a succession plan, because him and Cuadrado technically were both the right wingers projected, and they're both out of a contract at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, and from here we need to start doing things, but
Yeah.
I mean, you're saving on their wages at the very least, so I don't know what you replace it with.
Pulisic.
Yeah, again, you just keep on dropping Pulisic, and I'm on board. I think we've been very expressive of that. I'm down. Let's do it. But he has not made the rumors in the past couple of weeks, so
Yeah, unfortunately, but I'm sure things will pop off in January. And Bones says, "How hot
Love
is the nurse? Because the players never want to leave J Medical. It's going to be as hot as the nurses you see trick or treating on Halloween."
let us know too, because you're stuttering for me, lagging out. Is there any lag on your guys' end? Because it could be me, it could be you. I don't know. But let us know, guys. Just want to make sure the stream is looking good for you. But let's get on to this Ronaldo deal, because that's spicy as well. You know more about it than I do, because you read a little more into it. So yeah, hit us up.
All right, so just kind of talking about this Ronaldo deal. So apparently, allegedly, hypothetically, maybe. So there is a punishment that we will be facing, according by the latest accusations from the investigators that involve the deal. So we had announced that Ronaldo took a pay cut back during the COVID time, and I'm going to try to switch up voices here for comedic purposes. It had been discovered that both parties had an agreement outside of the reported finances of the club. Thanks for the feedback, Ronaldo. So it says that we agreed to pay the Portuguese star 20 million euros, which was a pay cut during COVID, but we did not record it in the initial financial statement. So this search has been going on, and it's been raids on several nationwide offices. Investigators believe they found the documents that both parties agreed and signed. So apparently they found a napkin with with Paratici and Ronaldo saying, "I will pay you this." So if this is true, Juve could be punished for their part of the agreement. How severe can it be? They might be deducted a few points from Serie A or be fined.
I heard 60 million.
60 million?
That's a lot of money for a $20 million side deal.
Holy shit.
This is Italian authorities here. Is it Italian or UEFA?
No, it's Italian.
Italian, yeah.
Bruh.
Oh,
that's
we got
nuts.
We got our old buddy here, Allegri. What does it say? Allegri skin?
Allegri skin?
Allegri skin?
Are you talking about Allegri's foreskin?
What? Or are we just too old and not hip enough to get these hashtags?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Allegri skiing?
Are you skiing? Allegri wants to go skiing?
Hey, that's that education you get from Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. Take the points. You ain't going anywhere anyways. Yeah, I guess so.
Come on, hey, Bones, you say that. You say that. I'm telling you, you say that. And then at the end of the season, we need 1 point for Champions League football. I'm going to snip this comment, and this is going to be the first thing I put on the live stream. And I'm just going to sit there and just go, hey, guys, remember when Bones said this? And then just... emotional damage.
Yeah, and KB, the Milan papers are throwing a lot of trash Juve's away the past few days, so really no surprise. But
Well,
yeah, let's because
it's
Ronaldo talk. I mean,
it's
I don't
it's
take no
Milan.
shit from anyone. I don't take no shit from anyone.
Yeah, it's Milan. We don't take any crap from them.
yeah, Milan. But Ronaldo, he'll make his appearances on this channel within the Juventus world on occasion. We'll talk about it. We'll laugh about it. We'll forget about it. Let's move on. Don't care about Ronaldo. So,
I was hacked. I swear, it wasn't me.
oh man. So there's a few new names up on the list. Why did I just put it away? I'm telling you, Fridays.
Guys, we write our script on napkins. We do it as a
napkins.
I was gonna say, remember when he did his transfer list on a freaking napkin and threw it in the garbage, and everyone's like, "Oh, Zaniolo's number one on the list. Zaniolo."
Yeah, it's in your holes. All right. So Didier Deschamps, Louis Enrique, Roberto Martinez. 3 names that have been thrown up as possible international replacements as my dogs are absolutely losing their mind. Is it bad?
No, I didn't hear him.
No? Can't hear it?
Nope.
Good. All right. I got the gain turned down on the microphone so you don't hear. Oh man. I can hear it. They're annoying. But anyways, so those 3 names, they are all currently coaching on national teams. Didier at France, Louis Enrique for Spain, Roberto Martinez for Belgium. All of them still have a job. Deschamps, I think, is the only one really rumored to be leaving, more so because Zidane is rumored to be going in. So, I don't know. What do you think of these names? Deschamps is Allegri, so no.
Yeah, but what? So hey, let me throw this out here. So like people in the chat and also people watching the review. What has Deschamps done really outside of France and even France? That France team's a super team.
He's used to dealing with very high ego, so that may be something.
Yeah, and he's also used to dealing with bums because France is full of bums.
Yeah,
No, just kidding.
bums.
Yeah,
KB is a no on Deschamps.
I don't see Deschamps like I mean I don't see an improvement. Like Deschamps a great. He's like the Claudio. He's the French Claudio Ranieri. Like he had one great run, and I think that's it. And I think that's his World Cup run in 2018. And then I think after that, it's nothing. The dude fumbled it against Switzerland in the Euros. I don't see France winning the World Cup. I don't even see them making it out of their group because of how much power they've given Kylian Mbappe. And I think Mbappe is going to sink the French national team. But to me, he literally reminds me of the French Claudio Ranieri. I think he's past his time. Usually most coaches that are in the national teams have gone past their prime. I think the only anomaly, and you can say it was an anomaly, is Conte. Because like Conte's probably one of the few coaches that it went to the national team and said, all right, bleep it, I'm going back to the club level. But everyone else, I think all the national team coaches, when you go into the national team, you're usually on the verge of retirement. And that's usually what most coaches do. Because again, it's easier to coach a national team. You can play a more simpler system because of the players that you get, and the expectations aren't as ridiculous as they are in a club.
And you're not playing as many games either. Like just physically, it's less, you know?
Because like I'll say this, Fernando Santos of Portugal still has a job.
Where is he these days?
He's still there.
See, is he still at Portugal?
Yeah,
I thought he left.
the Portuguese Allegri is still there.
Oh man, he is still there. Right on. Good.
So yeah, so that's the thing, man. I don't want a national team coach just because going in from the national team to the back to a club level.
What if it was Mancini?
I still wouldn't take Mancini.
No? I think it would be interesting. I don't think it'd be the greatest pick, but I don't mind him.
My best reference material is what he did with Inter like 5-6 years ago. It's just I don't see it, man. I think it's past him. I think Mancini's time.
Same.
Yeah,
it's old news.
Yeah, I think it's past it. I think it's past him. Same thing with Luis Enrique, because like he's Spain's coach, and he was the coach of Barcelona with with MSN with Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. And then after that, he didn't do any other coaching gigs. I think it's for personal reasons, but like he went to Spain and that was it. I don't see him coming back down to a club. I just it doesn't make sense for me. And then KB says he is like Zidane, just full of elite players and not proven. Thank you. This is one of the arguments that I've made about Zinedine Zidane as well. Is he had the best club team in history.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can say he did better than Rafa Benitez, but we all know Rafa Benitez is like washed as a coach. But the thing is there's still a verdict. Why do you think Zidane is not taking a job anywhere else as a manager? He was given a crap ton of money to go to Man U, rejected. Was offered us. We offered him. Juve offered him to come. Nope, didn't take it. So I think Zidane plays it smart, man. Zidane is just keeping it where, hey, this is my status, and I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize my current legacy. So for me, I don't think Zidane could fix Juventus either, because the one season he went to Real Madrid when they were in a rebuild, they got knocked out by eventual winners Chelsea, and they lost the league to Atletico Madrid. So I don't think Zidane's a rebuild. I think he's another Allegri in my opinion. I don't think he plays like a ugly defensive football. I'm not saying that. But I also think Zidane doesn't really do anything. He's just kind of like a man manager. He's almost like a Carlo Ancelotti, where like he doesn't do anything unique or crazy. He just understands, and can manage world-class players, which we don't really have any at the moment, besides maybe Chiesa and Dusan. Dave, I think you're muted.
I was, because my dog, right above me, wagging its tail, because it's a lab, so it just wags its tail and just like on the floor right above my head. So I was saying what I find infuriating, and yes, my dogs, when they do that, can be infuriating. It's not their fault, really. But what is actually infuriating is continuing to talk about these what if coaches that still have a job, aren't getting fired, aren't moving anywhere. And neither is ours at this moment. It's like I might as well just start punching holes in walls, because that's more exciting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep on talking about this every single week.
Yeah,
we go absolutely nowhere with it.
It does. I get you. I'm with you there.
And Bones here saying we need a coach that looks at the player and makes a strategy off the player, not come thinking he's going to make them play his style. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like that, because
the other
calm
thing
down,
too.
Kyle. Are you
calm down, Kyle?
Is he calling you Kyle?
But the one thing that I do think that I think is actually like really important that we need to do when we're looking at the next manager, whether it be at the summer, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whenever, we need a manager that can sit down with Montero and can sit down with the under-23 coach and pick a style of play. Because that's what makes the Illings, the younger players, the Yiddits, and all those guys that are up and coming, it makes the transition way more seamless. Because if we have a system, under 19s are playing a 4-3-3, our under 23s, our next gen is playing a 4-3-3, and then we go on to the first team and we're at a 4-3-3, it's much easier to shift up. Because right now, what's the issue that we're running with Illing right now? Where is he going to play? Is he going to be suited to where he needs to play? Because we're not picking proper formations, because the under 23s don't run a 3-5-2. I think they run a 4-3-3. So now we're doing a 3-5-2, and then we're trying to bring in a player from a 4-3-3, and it's like, what are we doing?
I didn't even pick this up at first. Farhad coming in, boss man says bring back Del Nero. I'm like, okay, like it didn't sound right to me, but I'm just looking through. And he says Del Neri, but Del Nero. Is that like the love child between Del Nero and De Niro? Del Nero. That's the love child. How great would that be? Oh yes. And KB's saying the only one that really fits the description that Bones was talking about here, about making the strategy off the player and not forcing play style. And he's saying Conte.
But Conte doesn't.
I mean,
he doesn't play youngsters, guys. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So like that's the issue with Conte, and like even with the news of him coming back, it's like, guys, I get it. Like he sets a foundation up, but and then he dips, and I think that's where his ceiling is as a coach, where he can set in a team and set in a foundation. But if you want to try to be more modern, more rejuvenated, Conte is not your guy.
No, he's again the only reason why I would say put him in is because he's just gonna get in there, yell at a bunch of dudes, light some fires off their ass, say go, let's do it, and within 2 years, probably one, he's gone.
Yeah, and then he leaves, and then what happens after? And then you hire Allegri back, and you go to the Champions League final. Boom, repeat the cycle.
Yeah.
Who is your
and Farhad,
daddy and what does he do?
Farhad, Del Piero plus De Niro is Del Niro. That could be a pretty good love child as well. I'd be down for that.
And then we got KB and Bones going on Team Pirlo. I'm pretty sure he's getting relegated into the Turkish League B this year. So
It's so hard to say.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I get it, man. Yeah, he just shouldn't have left. Really, is what it is. But again,
But you know,
we're punching holes in drywall.
It's a botched rebuild. In all honesty, Ronaldo agrees. Thanks, Ronaldo.
Yeah, as long as you pay him, right?
With our napkin contracts. Gosh, man, gotta love Paratici for those.
Oh, dude, yeah, I know it's wild. So, was there any other news that you had pulled up? Anything interesting you saw?
So there is some news on Davide, the other Dave that we know, Fratesi.
Oh, that Dave, yeah,
That Dave. He's not as cool, not as energetic as the Dave that we have.
Oh man, if I had the skills, I would be a pit bull if I was on the pitch. And unfortunately, I'm just complete trash. And I have I'm old. I'm worse than Bonucci at this point, guys. And it's bad.
Hey man, at least you can defend better than Gatti, right?
Let's no, I cannot. I'm not even gonna say that. I'm trash. I'm absolute trash. Gatti every day. But yeah, for Tezzy, what's up with him?
So Sassuolo has released the potential buyout for him.
Ooh.
So anybody in the chat want to take a guess, take a stab before I read out them digits?
Sassuolo, 45.
Okay, Dave says 45. Bones, KB, Frankie, I know you're here. What do you guys think? What's the cost for Fratesi? Shoot me a number.
Yeah, Frankie coming in too. He's got the burrito chipotle. I love it. Oh, you guys are funny. 60 from Frankie.
Wrong.
Yes, that's a lot.
All right, who else?
50. Say Bones 50. Reward.
No! Get to the chopper!
Okay. Who
Reward
else?
40.
Bruh.
All right, keep going. You guys didn't get it right yet.
Okay. So it's not anywhere from 40. So is it anywhere in between? Those
No,
numbers?
all of you guys were high.
Really? Okay. I
All
thought
of
they
you
were gonna
guys
tell
were
police
high.
us. Okay,
That's
so
the
I think
crazy
he's
thing.
I think he's worth 30. A solid 30.
Nope.
Okay.
You're
Yeah, well,
close.
you're just gonna tell us 32, 75. Like
Well,
lower.
So 30, 75.
20.
Bruh.
20. Just give us the number.
Hey,
We've gone
Frankie,
through-
Frankie, you're reaching, my guy. It ends with a 5. There is a 5 in it.
25, 35, 45.
35. We got a
35.
winner. Dave
Okay.
was the winner.
The same price as Locatelli.
35 million.
It's Locatelli. It's what it is. Is
It
he
is.
better or worse than Locatelli?
It's almost the same player profile
It
as
is.
Locatelli.
It's the exact same deal. They're trying to sell us the same deal.
They're just like, hey, we'll give you a 2-year loan deal for 35 million for this guy. He might be better. It's like Locatelli 2.0. And I'm just trolling. I'm not talking smack about Locatelli, but they're like, hey, do you want the expansion pass on your original Locatelli model? We'll give you the Fratesi model, which is the expansion. So you get new maps, new skins, and new operators for the original.
It's like when a bag of chips and it's like brand new wrapper, same great taste. It's like nobody
It's
cares,
like-
dude.
It's like buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and then buying Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's the same game. You're paying the same price for just barely any new stuff.
or to you have to buy the new one in order to get the old one. You know, you can't just have one. You have to buy the new one. You can't, but you can't buy the old one anymore. The old one's already sold. You have to buy the new one. Anyways, that's
Bones says, Apple, is that you?
we hating on Apple again?
I think he's talking about KB.
Yeah, I don't know.
If
I just
we're,
want to know, are we hating on? Because we're past the hour point. We've kind of gone through the news.
yeah, we have.
What's trash talk time, guys?
Yeah, we're gonna be here for another 2 hours just roasting Apple.
I did have one point I was gonna bring up. I don't know if you read the comments. I went back and forth a little bit today on a guy.
Which one?
It was
Dave throws
Our
hands
watch
with
along.
everybody.
I shake hands with everyone. He said.
I said you throw hands with everybody. Good old just scrapping. No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
the throw hands. Okay, yeah. It's like
You're like
okay.
sitting there like, what is throw
What?
hands?
Throw hand. Yeah. Okay. It's just. I mean,
Oh, the handball guy.
the handball guy. Yeah, I went back
Yeah.
a couple times with him.
So go for it. Tell your story.
Okay, I'll tell the story and then we can actually discuss this a bit more because what I was trying to tell him is that you have a discussion about things. Don't just come up and tell me, no, that's not the way it is. This is the rule. This is how it is. Because every rule can be broken. Every rule has some gray space. Things are not black and white. As the harder you try to make things black and white, the more gray space you can find in between. Canadians don't know how to throw hands. No, we don't, man. Like, unless it's hockey. Give us a hockey stick and some hockey gloves, and we'll throw them both down on the ground. Then we'll fight you.
I just because I'm reading the comment and then I see Farhad Chip and he's like, Canadians don't know how to throw hands, bro.
Yeah, I know. Juve is black and white, and they have the the motto or whatever. It's black and white. Yes, it's a nice saying. It's a saying. It's nice to hear, I guess. But reality is that there's things in between. And sometimes it's a stripe of pink and it's a really bad jersey. But there's always something. It was a bad jersey though. Come on.
Yeah.
The point being is that there's always a gray area. There's always something else, a different color thrown in there. So and it's not even this particular comment. I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's a good discussion point. But there was a video, it was 25 days old. It was a short. It was when we were coming back from the international break, and it was just Juve's back, baby, something like that, right? Like just getting excited that soccer's back, and it's a Juve channel, so it's Juve's back, obviously. So, Buddy comes in randomly 25 days later, and just starts trashing on us because we lost to Benfica. So I was just like, all right, man. And Dash, you kind of gave me this rebuttal. It's like, oh, thanks for digging up old videos and pushing our algorithm for us.
Yeah.
And then he just continues to trash. It's like, now again, I've told you guys, I love you guys because of your objective. When you have an opinion, you're able to think of it objectively. And if we rebuttal or the chat rebuttals, you guys don't entrench yourselves in like, this is my opinion. You cannot change it. You guys have like molded opinions, and we all have. We've all molded our opinions around each other because that's what's healthy. I just can't stand people that come in and they just like, this is how it is. It's like this. Change my mind. You can't because this is the truth. And it's like, I don't know. It's just, it makes no sense to me. And I felt like going on a rant because it's Friday and I'm tired and I'm sore and I just don't give a damn anymore. And I just want to yell at things, if that's okay.
Dave woke up and chose violence.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yes. and that's one of those things too. So like I always find it interesting because it's like a lot of folks on the Bones, man. I'm trying to keep character, and Bones is like, I want Rabiot's mom as our coach. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts, and he's like, give me Veronica. And I'm like, all right, fine, Bones. I even did this for you. I put it on the show deck just for you. Boom. There you go. There is your one and only.
Oh, we got hot girls here.
Yeah, I want shares. I want likes. Oh, we actually do have a
girls
spam.
on
I was gonna say, we have a spam bot.
Yeah,
hey,
buddy.
we talked about Veronica, and that just popped up, and then Bones is going with the ooh wee.
Oh, we lost him. It's just me now. I can just go on my monologues now. Oh god, you guys are hilarious. Veronica can get it from Farhad. Uh,
Funny.
get it.
I just,
Who's she getting it from though, Farhad?
I just, I just,
Um,
I just got booted. It was hilarious.
you got booted. Why did you get booted?
Oh, StreamYard just said, "Hey, yeah, we got to refresh you for a minute because it's not your fault."
Oh, maybe you are the hacker.
It's funny.
And Frankie wants Rabio's mom.
KB just said we need a punching soundbite.
Don't you? Yeah. Would be perfect for Dave's rant. Yeah. Yeah, we can work on the audio cues a bit better. But since I'm now finished my rant and I want to roll into like version or section 2 of it, if you will. So obviously, in the heat of the game, and the handball happened. This is the Benfica game. I was going on how it's not a handball, and I think a few of you agree. Yes, we all have biases because it was against us. So, I mean, it's almost futile to kind of talk between just Juve fans, but I mean, just we only got each other right now, so that's what we got. So let's discuss it. So he went with the whole thing. You can't make the volume of your body larger, and if you move your hand basically outside of like in or like that, tight to your body, yeah, that it's a penalty. And I'm trying to say he did not move his hand towards the ball. He did not make his body bigger. He was bracing himself from an impact from the player crashing into him. And it's a natural reaction for mammals. This is like natural sciences here, that you protect the soft belly. It's just why, like, if a dog doesn't trust you, it's not rolling on its belly. It's why cats don't let you put them on its back. It's a vulnerability, right? So it's a very natural reaction to do that. It's a natural position. And the ball was going the other way at the time. The ball ended up hitting the player, I can't even remember what it was, off him and then into the hand that was protected, which was still tight to the body. It was just out. So he and this is where the whole like, this is the rule, it's black and white nonsense. And this is where I can't agree with things. This is why I at least wanted to have a discussion. Because if I am wrong, I want someone to tell me I'm wrong, but I also want them to tell me why I'm wrong. So Dash, am I wrong? Chat, am I wrong? What's the deal here?
So the thing is like, this is a catch-22, and this is why I hate VAR. One of the reasons why I don't like VAR is because of VAR. You have to black and white the rule at this point now, because the thing is one of the issues that we had with VAR at the beginning of VAR's cycle is there was too many different referee interpretations of things. And that was pissing off a lot of fans because Irate would call a penalty against Juve 90% of the time and not give Juve a penalty for the same exact reason. So the thing is like 2018, 2019, and 2019, 2020, a lot of people were bitching about handballs because there was multiple interpretations of the handball by referees. So they decided to make this adjustment to the rule where it's like, if it's any kind of contact, regardless of what's happening, if it's not in a natural position, which, I mean, I hate saying it, but unfortunately it was just a perfect storm. Because the thing is, again, you are bracing yourself, but the problem is he goes like this. So see how my hand motion is? Not in a weird way. I know I'm jerking it, but the thing is like, when you look at my hand, it's right here and it's in a natural position and the ball kind of bounces forward. The thing is what I hate about VAR is how it is, as the boss man says, it's turned it into American football. We have to sit there and just be like, offsides, 15 yards, pass interference. The runner was short by the line of gain. Third,
you sound exactly like an NFL ref right now. I love it.
Yeah, well, they're all lawyers. That's the
yeah, they do. They sound very robotic.
So, like, yeah, I just want to walk up. So, upon further review, it was deemed that Cuadrado did make a jerking off motion and touch the ball with his hands. So, we do have a 15-yard penalty enforced at the end of the kickoff. First down, Benfica. In my opinion, because the thing is I was taught through an old school way of football. So, I understand the game from the old school perspective, where certain challenges, certain things are soft. To me, it's a soft penalty. Is it a penalty? Yes. What this guy was saying, by the rule, it is a penalty. But in my opinion, my interpretation of it, I think it's a soft penalty because it is a chain reaction. It
Mhm.
isn't me sliding and keeping my hand up or doing stuff like that. Because the thing is you got to watch out for players these days, man. Because players will try to do some sneaky shit like that to try to get something on to go off their call. So the thing is like, a lot of players used to do it where, like, for example, Gerard Piqué, he would go like this to block a shot and look at my positioning where my hand is. So
Yeah.
he would do stuff like that. And then, would use the argument, I'm bracing my chest. VAR helped eliminate that. That is one thing that VAR did do, is to help eliminate that, because now if you look at Chiellini or like really good defenders, how they defend in the box, like
Yeah.
this,
Was behind the back.
hands behind the back. Cuadrado is an idiot because Cuadrado is 35 years old and should know better than defend the way that he did. He put himself in a situation, and the Benfica player capitalized, because the thing is now with VAR, if I'm an offensive player and I'm trying to draw a penalty, I'm going to make it look, or I'm going to put that player in a position where they get compromised. So like Inter did it against Barcelona for the penalty per se, to get that penalty or that goal negated for a handball, where I believe one of their guys purposely headed the ball at a Barcelona player's hand just to make, oh yeah, handball, blah blah blah. So the thing is that Benfica player might have been like, hey, let me crash into Cuadrado, let me see if I can draw something here. Same thing with that guy in Monza against Di Maria. Let me try to sell this. It's ugly. It's an ugly thing of the game, and I find it dishonorable and disingenuous, but unfortunately, VAR has opened up Pandora's box when it comes to that. Because the thing is now the one thing, and a lot of people can agree with me on this one, is Moretti's penalty as well. So like the penalty that Moretti conceded against Benfica, or Moretti's going to poke the ball and a Benfica player steps right in front of the ball and puts his foot in between him and the ball, and that draws a penalty. Because by rule, that's contact in the box, and that's officially a pen, but it is a soft penalty. I mean, Inter did it to us twice in the Coppa Italia and the Super Cup last year. So by rule, yeah. But the problem is now that you have VAR, you have to you have to vague it, you have to black and white it.
And
Where,
but that's the whole irony of it.
yeah, it is. It is the
Because
irony of it.
because as you just said, like this, it's driving me crazy. I hate this, and I deal with this in real life, and I yell at people when they do this. Right? So you have a rule in place. You try to make a rule black and white, but like I said, you can't. There's always going to be a loophole. There's always the gray area. So eventually that rule gets broken. So what do? We put another layer of rules, another layer of control. Okay, cool. Another layer. But now that's not perfect. And we find the chink in that armor. So we put another rule in place. And now we get to a point. So in this situation, we get to this. Let's stop the play for 5 minutes and let's break it down every little frame by frame. And do we even have a soccer match anymore? Right? You completely lose the fluidity of the game, and the emotion of the game.
And that's the thing too, because originally I thought that VAR would be used just to double check offsides, onsides, and some like blatantly missed calls. Like I thought it was that, but now they're incorporating it into every single thing of the play. That's where I'm kind of getting irritated with, because like the thing is like even now, and yeah, Frankie, I did play the new COD midnight release, bro. But the thing is COD, I'm losing my train of thought.
Handball penalties.
It's such a good game. So the thing is like when we're looking at it now, all of this weird technology for offsides or these stupid VAR lines that they're drawing completely negates the whole benefit of the offside rule and how it should be done. Their thing is like, for me, I don't think VAR should be used for every single freaking play. Like, for example, even though the NFL has probably the strictest review policy, the NBA and all of it, NHL, NBA, MLB, they limit it to two evaluations per
And this is
coach.
kind of what Farhad's getting in on too.
Yeah, because the thing is, man, what's the point of playing a 90-minute game if you have 10 minutes of stoppage time?
Mm-hmm. And then you don't always play that stoppage time either. Then,
and you don't even
because
play the
that's
stoppage
arbitrary.
time.
Because
It's like,
we're too stubborn to change the way the clock works.
yeah, because the thing is like, think about it though. Because like when you're playing the game and then the stoppage time and all that kicks in, it's like you throw it off completely, because the game's supposed to be 90 minutes, no stoppages, maybe 5 minutes tops. I remember back then when we saw 5 minutes, everyone used to say
massive.
Fergie. Yeah, everybody would say Fergie time. But the thing is now it's like, what was it? It was a Serie A game over the weekend. It went up to like 10 minutes of stoppage time. And you're like, dude,
Wild. Yeah, and then, like, even 8 minutes is or it is heard of. You hear, like, a couple times throughout the season, 8 minutes extra time.
It's been more consistently now where you see 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. In the Premier League, they're throwing 8 minutes, 9 minutes of stoppage time like it's nobody's business because VAR has to check to make sure a guy was breathing through his nose. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's gotten to the point where now instead of good refereeing, they're relying on VAR. Because,
Yeah,
like, the Salernitana call too is like, how can a
that was so
linesman
bad.
miss that? How can a
Yeah.
linesman miss Kandreva and they have to sit there and rely on VAR? Like, the thing is like, for example, the one thing that the NFL does that I actually like about the NFL's review thing is like, for example, if it's a play that's close to the end zone for a touchdown, they'll allow the score to come in and then they'll use it to say, okay, this is blatant and obvious. We got to take this back and run it
The
back.
one of the things the NFL has, though, is just so many cameras everywhere.
Oh,
They have
absolutely.
everything covered. Serie A, or just football in general, European football, does not.
No. And they won't
So
because they don't have the money for it. The NFL is probably the richest league ever, and
oh,
nothing will
yeah,
ever emulate it.
easy. So and that's the thing is if you wanna implement technology I know there's a couple nerds here that kinda know technology a little bit, so I'll use this reference. Remember when digital first came out? We went from analog to digital. Maybe some of us don't remember, but like the 80s, 90s when it started becoming mainstream consumer level electronics. Everyone back then was saying that digital was crap. It was less accurate. And it was. It was crap. These days we look at analog and it's like, man, like don't even touch that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
You gotta keep it digital, you know? Um, so that's kind of like what VAR is now. It's like that you just got the new technology and we haven't figured it out yet, but we're gonna use it anyways because it's the latest greatest thing and we have to do it, but it's crap. And we're
Well,
relying on crap.
yeah. Well, and the funny thing is, Bones even says we don't even have a 4K camera in Serie A. Like the fact that, like, for example, and
Yeah.
I'm beating a
But
dead horse with Salernitana, but
this is a 4K camera. Like, go after
so
yourself, man.
yeah, but like the thing is like the fact that Sky Sports had better camera angles on that offsides call than VAR. Like to me, it's like it was brought in to do one thing, and now it's, like, almost like an excuse for referees to not do their job properly. "Oh, yeah, we'll just
Mhm.
check the VAR. Oh, it's the VAR and this and blah, blah, blah." So it's like, back then, because I did not like Spain in 2010, and I thought their World Cup win has a huge asterisk on it. But, like, for example, calls like that or like the Barcelona that screwed Chelsea out of it. Like, having VAR to oversee stuff like that where "Okay, hey, this is completely blatant." But now it's gotten to the point where VAR is being used to do the referee's job for him. Like, that VAR referee has more
Mhm.
power than the field referee.
And the another layer of, I guess, disappointment is when they do make a mistake, like that Kandreva, deal there
I don't
at
have cameras.
Salernitana. What's
That's
that?
their thing. I don't have enough cameras.
Yeah, I don't have enough cameras. But so I'm gonna pull back one on the NHL now. So I can't remember the exact details. It was the NHL finals. What happened is it was an offside call and it was missed. And there was a goal on the play and it won the Stanley Cup. Huge controversy. Obviously, it stayed because it's what happened in the moment. The NHL fixed that. The next year, that was a non-issue, out of the game. So what happens here? The Salernitana issue, for instance. Oh, we're sorry. Or no, it wasn't even we're sorry. Yeah,
We
we
just
did. We didn't
we
have
didn't have
that.
the angles. We didn't
Yeah,
have that.
tough luck. And then that's it. Wash your hands. Walk away. Like, are you kidding me? You call yourself a professional organization? This is what you're doing? It's actually disgusting. I think.
Yeah,
Um.
and, he gets it. He gets it. He gets it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what the original intent was. It was to prevent something like that. I don't like for the thing is, like and I don't like using that excuse and just trashing referees and stuff like that. I've ref games. I understand, dude. I understand the pressure that they're in. I
Oh,
get it. I totally get it. It's a
it's the
shitty
worst
job.
job. It's like the
It
worst
is.
job ever.
It's a shitty job, especially reffing football, man. It is extremely ugly. However, the thing is now it's like it's getting to the point where now, because like I remember when Italians used to have the best referees, and now it's just kind of like not really anymore. It's just the thing is now I don't like the over dependence on VAR. Because like the thing is like that is my issue. Because like the Salernitana head ref was like, he apologized on Instagram for it. I'm like, bro, man, you're a pro ref. You can't be making those mistakes. Or even like the issue with Inter and Fiorentina, where the guy literally absolutely demolishes Bonaventura's leg. And the guy's like, oh, because the thing is like, I'm going to say this: football refs are soft. Because if you criticize them, you get a card for dissent. I think that is the softest thing ever. And it's the same thing with NBA refs too. You get a
That
technical for
infuriates me. Like, you want
it
me to go
does.
on a rant one day? Like, just catch me hot after one of those calls happens, and I will completely put us down a black hole. Like, I go in the black when that happens.
Yeah, it's just like the thing is like even their press conferences, it's their reports and their write-ups. I'm just like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, there are so much financial implications. It's not good. Like with the NFL and all that. Like, okay, the financial, because the thing is, there's a cap. Money gets divided between all 32 teams. Any American sport. So that's not. Referee calls might impact championships, but that's more towards fan emotions. But in football in Europe, that is make or break. 3 points is make or break for some teams. Maybe not for Inter, Milan, us, Roma, Napoli, and them. No, it's only make or break when it comes into regards for the title, but financial incentives. Because like the thing is like say that I'm Empoli. I'm having the season of my life. It's the last game of the season. Me against Lecce, and if I win, I overtake Atalanta for fourth or fifth or sixth place into the European spots. And that's a huge financial incentive for me to do it.
Or if you're the Detroit Lions, you cannot win ever in your history, and you're still in the NFL next year, making the same amount of money.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to go through that one. But the thing is, though, because like guys, you catch my drift. It's the same thing. Like for example, if I'm Genoa and I'm trying to avoid relegation, and there is an obvious botched miscall, because that's the difference between me staying in Serie A and keeping my team for one season, and then me having to sell a bunch of my players because I can't afford them due to Serie B regulations. Like the thing is the fact that the stakes are so much higher and so much bigger. It is ridiculous that, like, the thing is some of these guys don't get held accountable. And I'm gonna say this, and Farhad says it too, where 3 points are very important. They are. If those 2 drop points from Salernitana come back to
We'd be
bite
in
us in the
fifth. We would
ass,
be fifth right now instead
we
of eighth.
would be. We would be. It's just the thing is because these leagues have so much money on the line. Top 4 make a certain amount, 5 and 6 make a certain amount, 7 makes a certain amount, and then it goes on. Because it's all about placement. Because the thing is they have your big purse change, whether it's good or not. I don't care. We're not going to talk about how leagues are ripping teams off, but it's divided by placement. It's divided by finishing. That's what she said. But trying to keep.
How do we not
serious
have a
but
Michael
comedic.
Scott cut yet? That's your homework.
I'm going to work on that. I'm getting us a Michael Scott.
All right.
Here, you heard me say it now, pointing at the camera. However, the thing is the amount of financial incentive, the amount of financial importance of it is ridiculous by the fact that this stuff is getting allowed. Like Colina even says it. Like he's like, dude, these refs are terrible right now. Like so many missed calls, so much of an over dependence on VAR. I missed him because like if you went up and tried to do dissent to him, he'd come up to you and yell at your face and be like, bro, I'm all about it. Come at me.
That's what should happen. I'm like, you hurt my feelings, guys. I'm gonna write you up in my
Like Irati,
report."
man, you look at him funny and he puts you a yellow card for dissent.
Could we make like an Irati hate page?
We could. But I think we might get in trouble for it. But like
Yeah,
the
we
thing
might.
is like but the thing is there. It's like, yeah, so Kalina is like the head arbitrator of referees or something like that, but like he disagrees with VAR and a lot of the things that VAR is being used.
Just because you're at the top of something doesn't mean you actually have any control over anything.
Exactly. It's the market, it's the money. UEFA is like, hey, we want to do VAR. We're going to push VAR to all the federations that participate in UEFA. So Kalina doesn't really have much of a say in it. Because even Kalina said this too. And it's the same talking point that I had. He said VAR should only be utilized for clear and obvious errors that we need to correct. It should not be used as a refereeing tool as it is being used right now.
It's a crutch.
It's a crutch. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be a wheelchair.
Oh no, I'm saying they're using it as a crutch instead of like standing up and walking, doing their own job. They're using VAR as a crutch because
It's
they're not.
it's not a knee brace. It's a full blown wheelchair.
Yeah, they're like the motorized scooter. Yeah. Anyways, I think they
We
kind of
came
get
in.
the picture
I
of
was gonna
how
say,
much
we
we
came in.
actually hate this.
We came in with some
Yeah.
heat right now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just cranky today, guys. I need to let out some steam. And I came in hot again after work, so you know how she goes.
Yeah, Dave wanted the smoke.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Which is a stupid saying. That is not true. That is, who made that up? It's dumb. You can have smoke without any fire, right? Like you're the engineer. Am I wrong here?
I mean, you could make smoke with
Just
anything
smolder
that.
it.
Yeah, just smolder it.
Yeah. Or you can be like one of those vape dudes going down the highway with like the stuff going out their window, right? There's no fire there, but there's a lot of smoke going on.
Like I said, guys, Dave woke up today and chose violence. He did.
Oh man, for the F you guys talking about it, we're on extra time for ad. This is
We've hit 90 minutes. We're doing our extra time now.
yes, extra time for sure. No, we're just having fun, of course. And it's always the regulars. You guys always stick around for the nonsense. So I'm assuming you want it. You want it, you got it. If not, if you're just sitting there hating your life, I don't know really what you guys are doing. You're doing it wrong, clearly. But no, we appreciate it, of course, as always. But we should wrap up.
Music time? I think it's music time.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Let us carry on our way. Oh man, that's
You know,
a
I
good
actually,
song too.
I should actually like do it like a serious outro where I could say, "Hey, thanks for watching the video, guys. If you want to see more news on the Turin Giants, click this tab over here where it's our recent video. Click that tab over there. What's that video? And then click that down there." Gotta do one of those professional ones for our pre-recorded stuff.
Yeah, and Bones. Now that Farhad is here, there has been a call out for it.
Milkman themes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Milkman tees. I just want a picture. This is how I'm visualizing. Of course, if there's
Milk
especially if
holding a
there's
jug.
well, I'm thinking like the old blue suit, like the actual milkman back in the 40s with the, you know, dress him up kind of idea. That's what I'm thinking. But if there's any artists, or if you guys at least have ideas, of course, like throw it at us. DM, Discord, all the jazz. Farhad says coming. So
Hey,
I'm gonna personally hold him to that because I want to see the Milkman t-shirt.
He's gonna deliver like milk. Yeah, it'd be funny though. It's like
milk downing a gallon of milk. Yeah, just like,
yeah. Well, the thing is, you would have milk, and then he says, "I don't deliver milk, or I don't deliver milk. I deliver goals," or something corny like that.
that's something you would say.
I would say that.
Oh man, you know what? And every single episode, I'm like, I go on here, and I'm sorry, Farhad. I'm just being lazy. I'm forgetting, but I go on and I throw these sweaters on, and I still haven't ordered. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna order it. I get off stream, I rock the piss that I always do because I can't hold it in, and then bam, I forget. I don't order it. So somebody's got to hold me to it to order one of these finally, because it is getting cold down in this strap basement here. Yeah, and I know Farhad appreciates the sound bites because he's down. If you've been listening to the podcast, which you should, I mean, the podcast's been around for 9 years. We've been around for 9 weeks, so like, go listen to the podcast. But Farhad figured out how to do sound bites. He's tickled pink about it. He's like a little schoolboy now. He's just clicking buttons, kind of like that. Okay, but on that note, Dash.
All right, cool. Give me my black background so I can do this a little bit more professionally. All right, crack my knuckles, stretch my neck, do some breathing exercises. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out this episode of the crap, I did it. Hold on, take 2. Just kidding, guys. It's a comedic bit. I didn't really slur my words there. Hey, everybody. Thanks for looking at this week's episode of our pregame show. Check us out tomorrow for some watch-alongs and some other stuff, as well as the post-game show. Also, if you're new to the channel and just discovered us, the subscription button is going to be somewhere right over there. Also, make sure you drop a like, a good old comment, and a share-a-rooney. Also, we're going to be linking some tags to some previous videos here, so you'll see them on this side too, on this background there, and this over there. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you when you see ya. Forza Juve, arrivederci. Happy weekend. Have fun. Deuces, I'm out.
Oh, baby, yeah. Tomorrow, it is going to be 10 minutes before match starts. So I will be sitting in the same chair, hopefully not so salty, ready for game day. Love you guys. And y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.